What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters: Christian Asher, Zian Sai, Christian Simpson, JPC2, Ace Attorney Fan 621, Alunar, Joseph Vega, Cryptic Circus, Donald Fuller, Wet Dream JK, Kaiser Sani, Joe Hardy, Cameron Hofstra, Plague Monk 42, Robert Wachtel, Tarek Drux, Dylan Gibson, Alex Soli, Curtis Pewter, Iron Metallica, Miracle, Joshua Webb, Brianna, OXL, Benjamin Sapp, Alpha X Shroom, Jordan Jardine, Haley Mitchell, Leon Lungi, Nick, and
Now how did I get here?
And as always, I'd like to give a big shout out to our executive producer, The Anime Hybrid. Thank you all very much for your support. And if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to click the link down below to find out more. We'll see you there. I think we've all had our moments during this quarantine that have just outright made us question everything. I think mine was pretty close to the beginning because I started out this whole quarantine thing pretty sick, but it developed into a very, very bad situation where I could not breathe, and I went sometimes 4 to 5 days, like stretches of 4 to 5 days without sleeping multiple times, and I was delirious. I couldn't make sense of anything. And doing videos for the channel around that time, y'all probably noticed that I was coughing a lot. I was bringing my shirt up to cough, and then as soon as I was done with recording down here, I'd go upstairs and edit those videos, and then I'd try to go to sleep, but there was a problem. I couldn't go to sleep. My body was sort of in panic mode and was just like, what if I fall asleep and I don't wake up? I guess. I don't know. But by the same token, I got medicine, I got steroids, and I got feeling better. And it's taken about 5 to 6 months for me to feel back to where I was. And I'm glad I'm back to where I was, but that whole time was just absolute hell. And the whole quarantine thing has taken its toll on a lot of people, more mentally so than physically, because the whole country hasn't gotten sick yet, but a lot of people out there have been affected by this. Some have lost family members, some have lost loved ones, and some have lost friends. And I can't fully comment on stuff that's happened in my personal life, but yeah, if this whole quarantine thing has got you feeling down, we hope that we can at least make you feel better. Give you some good laughs and some good stuff and some good juju. But yeah, the Odd Ones Out made a video called "My Decaying Mind in Quarantine." How does an animated man's mind decay anyway?
Well, I mean, he's not technically an animal.
I know. I'm just joking. I'm trying to be funny.
My mind personally has apparently been decaying, and I didn't even think it was. So that sucks.
Well,
see, I've been handling this whole thing better than most because I'm very introverted. So
yeah.
If somebody's like, "Hey, would you rather go about your normal life, go out and talk to people, go buy food in drive-thrus and sit at restaurants to eat, and go to Walmart and do all this stuff, or would you rather spend 6 months in a house playing video games and editing videos and watching stuff on YouTube?" I would absolutely pick 6 months sitting in a house watching stuff on YouTube playing video games over the rest of that. So the only thing I really missed was some of my favorite foods that I would grab from certain restaurants. But I thought I was handling it really well, but then about a week and a half ago, I had my first panic attack in a year, and I was just kind of like, what the fuck? It kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't really know for certain anything that made it come on. And then for the next 3 or 4 days, I felt like my lungs were closing up on me and my throat was closing up, and I just felt like I couldn't breathe good. So I was like, crap, I must be getting sick, I guess. Maybe I got a panic attack because I was getting sick. So I was going to drive out to the urgent care the next day if it didn't go away. And I woke up and it felt better, so I was like, oh, I guess I'm fine. So I was like, I need to go get more vape liquid from the vape shop. And I was driving on my way over there when I started to feel that way again. And I was like, all right, I guess I better go to the urgent care. And I got there, had another panic attack in their parking lot, and then after that went away, felt better again. And I was like, I think my anxiety is just killing me for some reason. And I went in and they x-rayed my lungs and checked my heart and checked all my levels. And they're like, yep, you're really healthy. And they're like, yep, you probably should follow up with your regular doctor about your anxiety. So, I don't know why, but for some reason my anxiety has just been going through the roof for no particular reason whatsoever, but I'm assuming it's just because of so much time of this or whatever.
Well, when you also keep
Maybe
in
me
mind...
just thinking about, like, a bunch of different little things, like, I'm like, our country is stupid, we'll never get to go back to normal if people don't fucking actually wear a damn mask when they go to the grocery store. Like,
well, yeah, I mean...
you know, I really want to play music with my bands again.
I think that's the big thing right there.
I don't want to get kicked out of my bands because I'm paranoid for too long about going out to play shows and stuff. You know, I don't want something to happen to, like, the channel or anything and us end up having to go get, like, fucking essential jobs and all this fucking mess right now either. Like, that would be horrible in my opinion, like, horribly scary. I don't know, there's just a lot of little things I think built up and just I started having like physical symptoms from my anxiety, which kind of sucks, but
well,
that's how mine's decayed, I guess, over quarantine.
Well, effectively the whole situation, I mean, you know, if you break it down on your end, all the little things are effectively what make up the big gigantic house of depression that you've built, and you think it's on fire.
Pretty much.
And yeah, my thing is, I guess where my life has become more simplified, because I used to have a lot of things like you do. I used to have bands that I was in. I used to have like a few bros that I'd go and hang out with and all that. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna simplify things to the point where I can, you know, I can effectively feel like I don't have all this stress looming over my head. And I think that's one big thing about it. I mean, I have a massive point of stress, you know, YouTube, and the ever-changing world that it is. And our videos here recently been getting demonetized, which, not fun at all. Seeing that little yellow mark come up there when you've followed every single rule that they have laid out, only for them to change the rules later on, and then all of a sudden your videos are now in violation of their policies. It's kind of bullshit, but what are you going to do? It's YouTube. They're going to do what they want. Well, speaking of doing what we want, I got the video queued up here. Let's give it a watch, shall we? See what's up. All right, James. How you handling it, buddy?
Hello, everyone. It's me, James. I just wanted to let you know that I'm launching this card game called Cafe Chaos on Kickstarter today. There'll be more info at the end of the video. This isn't some bit. I actually made a card game, and I worked really hard on it, so please click the link in the description to get your...
My name's Joe Exotic. I exploit dangerous wild animals for profit, and that's only the least reprehensible thing I've done. In this 8-part docuseries, I'll show you the bad, the horrible, and downright disgusting aspects of what it's like to be a polyamorous, meth-addicted Tiger King. I'm the real Pokemon master, you hear?
And just like that, by watching other garbage humans on his television, James felt ever so slightly at peace while the world crumbled around him. For the first time in months, James smiled.
I'll be real with you, being in quarantine has sucked a lot. I miss hanging out with friends, I miss going to non-essential businesses, and I miss wiping my butt with toilet paper instead of my dog. All I've had for company has been floof and my own mind. So it's been a little hard to stay motivated during this time. But if staying home instead of going to Disneyland will save people's lives, then I guess I'll have to make that sacrifice. It's so hard to be a good person. Some of the things that have been helping me mentally has been exercise, a positive mindset, and garbage television. I used to think that garbage television was stupid and a waste of my mortal existence. But as I started watching more garbage, I realized that I've already been fascinated and enjoyed watching garbage content for years. Have you seen the videos I make? I've said this in my conspiracy video that I love watching crazy people talk for hours. Now take those same people, give them a camera crew and a budget, and you got a brand new show on TLC. What's that?
Crazy old man
You've never
down on
heard
the
of
street.
TLC, the Learning Channel? Well, TLC is full of wonderful programs and documentaries that'll teach you if you become trashy enough, you'll end up on TV. And that's what schools should be teaching. No,
Wow.
this video isn't sponsored by TLC, but if they wanted to sponsor me, I'd say no. I just want to be on an episode of My Strange Addiction. I'll tell you what the addiction is later, TLC. One show I've been unhealthily binging is called 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
about when a boy meets a girl.
Chad and Nikki will not stop talking about that damn show.
I do not watch stuff like
I
that.
do, okay.
The trash television thing, I don't understand. It has zero appeal to me.
Well,
I've not even watched the first episode of Tiger King. I don't care,
well,
like, at all.
confession time. I have not watched any of Tiger King either. I've only seen clips, and from those clips, I can discern this: Joe Exotic belongs in jail, guys, and so does Carol Baskin. They're both bad people.
That's the other thing
end.
too. Is like sand sharks. I fucking love animals. Like,
Yeah.
So pretty much every kind of animal. Like I even like spiders and snakes. Like stuff that a lot of people are terrified of. But
Hence, every time I go on the search bar, I always see.
and I still don't want horrible things to happen to sharks. Somebody was talking to me about it the other day. They're like, there are people like cut their fins off and like crap and throw them back in the ocean to just drown and stuff. And I was like, that's fucked up, and they shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be anywhere near one. Like, so like. I really love animals, and I feel like watching a show like that is just going to piss me off and depress me. It's not going to be good for my mental state by any means. It's not going to, like, even if it's entertaining, it's still, I don't think it's going to be a positive thing for me to watch.
Well, the whole thing is, dude.
It's like, fuck the guy
quarantines-
from what I've heard. Fuck Carol Baskins as well, obviously.
Well, yeah, but fuck both of them. They're both bad people. But the whole thing with trash TV is that for some people, I heard someone make this analogy a long time ago. Media that is consumed, it doesn't really matter what it's made out of. It's meant to be consumed. So, for instance, a game like The Room or The Room VR in your case, that is a well-crafted, well-designed, well-seasoned meal that you can sit down and enjoy, and you're perfectly fine with it. Then there's Fortnite, which is pretty much just like potato chips that you can just scarf down whenever you want.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how media goes. It's meant to be consumed, whether it has been properly made or whether it is just rehashed stuff that you've seen 1,000 times before in other games, done better in this game. I mean, honestly,
It's as I'll basically say. It's like time you enjoy wasting is not time wasted, in my opinion.
very much. That's
And-
a good one. That's a good analogy.
So if you enjoy it, that's fine. It's just personally, like, the trash TV is not a thing I think that I enjoy. So, like, everybody enjoys their own things. Let people enjoy things. Let people dislike things.
Yes. All right. Anyway, back to it.
Or a girl meets a girl, or a man meets a much younger girl online, and they sort of like each other, but they're from different countries, so when they meet each other, they have 90 days to decide if they want to get married before their visa expires. It's great that the internet exists so that these clearly desperate people in different countries even have the chance to form a relationship. And it's equally great that the internet exists so we can watch very personal moments of these strangers' lives. The show really shines with the most garbage of couples. I've seen other YouTubers talk about this one specific couple, Big Ed and Rose. I don't want to make fun of
PewDiePie
Big
there.
Ed's appearance, but let's just say he saves a lot of money on scarves and turtle necks. He's a 54-year-old pursuing a relationship and wanting to marry a 23-year-old Filipino woman named Rose. And Ed has a daughter that's 6 years older than Rose. And he's older than Rose's father. Can you imagine for a second if your mom was 6 years younger than you? And on top of that, Ed is a huge liar. He lied about his height, he lied about wanting to have kids with her, he's also really mean to Rose. I mean, sure, he's old enough to be her father, so he's probably used to talking down to young people, and a dad telling their kids that their legs are hairy and their breath stinks is justifiable. But this is his girlfriend. At least make her a bag lunch first. Even if I thought Big Ed was the best guy in the world, do I think a relationship could work between people with a 31-year age gap?
Well, let's take a look at the math. Here is the half-year age plus 7 rule graphed out. So if you're 30, then it's socially acceptable to be dating someone who's 22. Now, obviously, this graph isn't set in stone,
But for reference, here's Big Ed's age.
Glad that someone
versus
else subscribes to the
Rose's
Half Your Age Plus
So
7
when Ed
because
was
people always
40
look at me
and
weird
taking
when I
care
bring
of
that
his
up.
15-year-old
Half your age plus 7. Yeah, you've talked about that multiple times.
People are always like, "What?" I'm like, it makes sense if you go and look at it.
It does. It does.
It's like how many times, like even if like your own mentality, if you just were to like take 2 ages and be like, how weird is this age with this age?
Well,
your brain a lot of the times, if you got a normal perception of like stuff like that, is going to make essentially the same assumption as this formula. Like if you're like, okay, a 30-year-old dude and he's dating an 18-year-old, yeah, it's legal, but it's a little weird. And if you look up at the formula, you know, like so 30 is 22, so it gets a little weird lower than that. But even a 30-year-old with a 21-year-old, your brain probably wouldn't say is that weird. But the more you think about it and the more you look at it, the more it starts to make sense. Like if you see like a as you get older, the age pool actually increases for the ages that it's less creepy for you to be dating.
Yes.
So like when you're 40, so you can date up to 27-year-olds. So that's technically like, you know, up to 13 years younger than you.
Well, yeah,
which would be really fucking weird if you're 20.
Well, no. That's the thing.
know?
Well, it's just again, it's social standards plus
That's weird but horrible.
it's social standards plus a scientific graph. See, social standards state that anyone who is above the age of 18 is a consenting adult. Now, the thing is, I've witnessed a lot of older women who are in their late 30s seek out guys who are literally like 17 or 18.
That's just as creepy as dudes that do that.
Yes, exactly. And the thing is, it's not, to a lot of people out there, that's not as creepy as a guy doing it. Why? Because guys are seen as more the ones that do all the grooming.
But that's just me.
No, equally. I am all for it being equally creepy as well.
Well,
It's
I think
just
too
social
is like
standards. There's double standards out there, dude. There's
even
double
though
standards
18
everywhere.
plus is a consenting adult, like I have come to find out from personal experience that most people between the ages of 18 and 23, no offense,
Are
have
idiots.
No fucking idea what they are doing.
No, they're idiots.
With
Most of them are
anything.
idiots.
Like, you know,
and if you find like
especially
an
in a relationship, so I feel like getting married before, like I feel like dating like from like 18 plus, like and doing dating things is fine. I think the legal age to get married should be 25.
a lot of people would fight you on that.
I think both people in the
I
relationship should have to
probably
be
would
25.
fight you on that too. You know why? Because if the legal age of marriage was 25, I would not be here, and my sister would not be here.
Fair enough.
So yeah,
but
I will fight you on that.
That's not true either, though, because you're still here already, and that could be changed now.
But instead, my name would be Nathan Bowling.
I think the reason that the fucking numbers for divorce are so high is because a lot of people get married before they even have any clue who the fuck they themselves are.
Well, of course, dude.
And
That's
I don't
the case.
think that happens
And
until
also,
at least your mid-20s, if not later.
And also, the ever-reaching world of the internet makes it easy to where you can be tempted at the drop of a hat. Now,
I'm off topic.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that without temptation there is no, there would be no guilt. Abso-fucking-lutely not. There are people out there who are complete and total pieces of shit, and the very moment a piece of temptation drops in their lap, they jump on it. But at the same time, the amount of temptation that is hurled at people, especially kids, what scares me is the amount of sexual stuff that's hurled at kids that are like 11, 12 years old, barely about to hit puberty. It's astounding, the amount of stuff that gets through. And look, I'm not talking about over-the-head jokes that a lot of these kids aren't going to get until they're older. No, I'm talking about, like, ultra-sexually suggestive stuff that, honestly, these kids are not properly conditioned for. I mean, they haven't even hit puberty yet. They haven't gone through the classes to know what is right or what is socially, or what is acceptable and what isn't. In which, if you want to go to different groups, you go to certain fringe groups. Hey, there are no rules. All right, anyway.
year-old daughter? Rose was 9.
So do I think an age gap of 31 can work? Well, mathematically and common sense speaking, not until Ed is 76 and Rose is 45. I think that'll take longer than 90 days, though.
Yes.
The second and third reason I love this show is David and Lana. I haven't seen any YouTubers talk about this couple, but they need to. Meet David, a 60-year-old guy from Vegas who's fallen head over wallet for a Ukrainian woman named Lana. He spent 7 years and $250,000 on a relationship where he hasn't even met the other person. He's tried to meet up with Lana on 3 separate occasions already, but got stood up every single time. Now he's putting all of his credit cards on the table and is willing to risk it all on a 4th trip to Ukraine to meet his soon-to-be mail-order
Наречена.
who doesn't speak English. Long story short, they meet after 13 episodes. David gives her a brand new iPhone X to text him on, only for him to get eternally ghosted because her nails were too long to text him back. Let me remind you that they were in contact for 7 years. That's how old Rose was when Ed was 38. Me briefly describing these two's relationship just now was so much of an emotional roller coaster that I don't even need to go back to theme parks anymore. It makes me want to puke, and I hope you can see why I love this show so much. I know that reality TV is fake, and who knows if this entire relationship was scripted and manufactured for the show. But I don't care if it's fake. This smile is real. Watching garbage television all day isn't as fun or healthy as it may seem, believe it or not. Even though I spent a good portion of this video hyping up trash TV, you should also be doing something productive. Like watching YouTube videos.
Heyo.
To compensate
That's
for all the
us.
garbage I watch, I've been exercising more. Right when the pandemic began its exponential spike, I bought a home gym machine and I've been working out 3 times a week with my friend DJ. DJ and I met because we're both friends with Alan Becker, who makes these animations versus animator videos.
What's
And
up,
one
Alan?
day I noticed that DJ's muscles were a lot like one of my Japanese animes. He was a walking, breathing protagonist that my body dysmorphia had been holding me back from becoming. I reached my skinny hands out to DJ and said, "Hey DJ,
I wonder if
can we
DJ is
work
Jax
out
Blades.
Hold on.
Because I don't know Jax Blades' real name. YouTube. See what his channel name is. No, it's just DJ Wells. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a dude named Jax Blades that like actually does exercise videos called Tough Like the Tunes, and is like how to get ripped like JoJo and shit like that.
Jesus.
Basically.
Yeah, I need to do that.
He's a pretty
So
ripped
this is
dude.
where I put the iPad to talk to DJ.
Okay.
Oh, hey, James.
This is where I got the treadmill, the weights. This is
Treadmill.
my favorite piece of equipment. This rag up here so I don't bump my head when I do pull-ups. This is where I keep my air conditioner because it gets very hot in this garage.
Bet
This
he
is what it
figured that
used to
one out
look
after
like a
one
month
good
ago.
bump.
Very hot in this garage. This is what it used to look like a month ago.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Anyway,
The reason I started working out more
Good
seriously
one,
was
James.
because people
Good
were
one.
calling me skinny and other slanderous synonyms like slender and scrawny. And I told my friends that I was hurt by these comments, but they all unanimously agreed that it's true. I am a Slim Jim. It's important to have a reason for working out. Mine is self-loathing. DJ is forcing me to push myself. We've only been going for about 3 months, or a whole 90-day fiancé, and I've already gone from struggling to lift up this much weight to struggling to lift up this much weight. Sorry if I'm flexing too much on you, I'm just proud of my progress. The point is, while trash TV is fun, remember to mix in some productive activities during the day.
Yes.
For example, exercise. You don't need equipment. Do 10 push-ups right now, lose. Clean up after yourself. During these hard times, keeping your space organized and tidy will be a big boost on your mental health. Wear a face mask if you need to go out. Learn how to cook. You should also be eating healthy too. Stop eating so many bagel bites. Watch parkour fails. Remind yourself how safe you are inside. These guys could get COVID and a broken tooth. Wear a face mask if you need to go out. Shave your head. Who cares anymore? Watch competitive sports
I've
fishing
thought
and get
about
your
it.
blood pressure to rise so much that you feel pressured into working out again. And oh my god, how big is that fish? Oh my god, it's a 1,200-pound bull shark! They need 7 people to pull it on the boat, and oh my god, is that Big Ed? And last but not least, check out my newest game on Kickstarter. Over the last year, I've been developing a new game called Cafe Chaos. You start the game by choosing a character with a unique ability, target other players, and throw food combos like
moldy, double deep fried couch cushion candy. Or a frozen chocolate pretzel.
That sounds
That's
good.
pickled. That's actually an illegal move, so don't do that.
Avoid
Yeah, that
taking
is
splat
illegal.
points by ducking or using your character's special ability while grabbing more food to throw at opponents. There's a whole bunch of characters to choose from, but I also invited some friends of mine
Hey,
to join the
Jane.
fight. Their cards can be found in the Animators pack And you can see
So,
all the
Jaden,
other
then
packs
let me
over on my
explain.
Kickstarter page.
Yeah.
Some of these deals
And
will
something
only be
else.
available for the 30-day campaign, so be sure to check them out before they disappear forever. Hopefully, this game will help you get through quarantine as much as it's helped me. Thank you all for watching, and wear your seatbelt. Hello everyone, I hoped you liked my big exclusive sneak peek into what I've been up to for the past
Oh, look at the cute dog.
6 months.
No, what
I know things are a bit crazy right now, but I hope you're all keeping busy in your own unique way. Maybe some more mind-numbing than others. But hooray, another video is created, and that means another big hooray for my incredible crew. I can't do these videos without them. As you've probably heard, I'm releasing a card game on Kickstarter today, so be sure to check that out. And as always, if you ever decide to go to a foreign country to meet someone that you talked to online for 4 days, wash your hands and wear your seatbelt.
There you go.
I appreciate that he said wear a mask if you go out, like more
Multiple
than one
times. Multiple times, yes.
Yeah, I wear
it.
an N95 respirator when I go out because I had one.
Yeah,
from
he's got the. I
hobbies
remember
and
when I
stuff.
got you that,
Yeah.
dude. Like you put it on. I remember the first time you put it on, you were just like, "This seems a bit much."
like,
And now you're just like, "I'm wearing it everywhere I go."
Batman. Batman. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he-
kick your ass. I don't remember any lines from the movie, but this
Like,
is what I sound like when I wear it.
This city is yours. Take it. Well, he doesn't really laugh. He just breathes maniacally. Just. If I take that mask off, will it be painful? Yes, for you. Yes. So, God, we're making Bane jokes. What is this? God, when did that movie come out? 2012.
I don't know.
God, it has been almost a decade since The Dark Knight Rises came out, and here we are still making stupid friggin' Bane jokes. The whole thing about YouTubers getting jacked during this whole quarantine thing started with the most popular one. Yeah. Started with the most popular one, by far. PewDiePie. Which, look at that man. Look at this man right here, Internet. Look at him. Shredded, yes. And then, not only him, but, yeah. And now, Jacksepticeye went from this...
Because you will see...
Oh, shit. Simon Miller. What the hell are you doing here? I shouldn't say shit to Simon Miller. Simon Miller's a fucking monster of a human being. But then you get Jacksepticeye, who went from this, a fairly skinny, pasty Irishman, to this. A fairly
like the
jacked.
Photoshopped picture down below.
Yeah, that one's hilarious. That was pretty funny. Not gonna lie.
So maybe there's that's what we're doing wrong.
Yeah. But
It's the only reason we don't have millions and millions of subs like they do. Yet.
No, they have millions and millions of subs
Pewds
because they're
and
actually interesting people.
Pewds and Jack and Markiplier are all pretty in shape.
Well, Mark's always been in fairly good shape. Jack and Sean and Felix have always been skinny. They've always been very, very skinny. But here's the thing. In order to get jacked like that, I mean, me and Nick both did the math on this. You need to increase your calorie intake and pretty much use the calories that you've taken in and put it in areas that you want. For instance, Jack put it all in his shoulders, his arms, his abdomen, and his back, which, let's see. Because I'm really hoping to find the picture of his back, which is the one I think is even more ridiculous than the front pic. It's hilarious Markiplier one. Look at that. Yeah, Mark. I think that's what Mark thinks he looks like in his mind every day. He just sees this picture of himself. He's just like, "Oh hey, how you doing?
Oh yeah, time to go do some more YouTube videos.
Oh yeah. Let's call up Ethan and go do some cool shit."
Tell him how small he is.
But you can't make fun of Ethan because Ethan's actually a gymnast and knows what the hell he's doing on the bars. But God, where in the heck is there? It is. Yeah. I wish they had the before picture of his back, but yeah. Oh, this is actually on his Twitter. His Twitter. So yeah, let's see. Okay, here we are. This is Jacksepticeye before. This is Jacksepticeye Alpha. This is Jacksepticeye before. That one's even more ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like he put it all into his traps right there, or his traps and his lats right there, dude. Because yeah, contrary to how I look, I did play football for a long time, and I did know what workouts to do. Although I didn't go for any of that. I didn't go to look shredded. I went for bulk because, when you're a linebacker and they want you to put on an extra 15 pounds of mass, they don't really care where it goes. They just want it.
I have just always wanted to be able to lift my own body weight consistently. There have been a
I've
few
been
points
there.
in my life where I've been able to do that and like climb stuff and everything like easily.
Yeah.
But not for long, and I usually like fucked around and lost it
Dude.
quickly.
Dude, I remembered when I was in football. It was my junior year. It was my best. That was when I was at my best. On average, I was benching. My coach told me to not go like about 15% above my body weight. I maxed out at 285 benching, but I was doing 250 for sets, like 3 sets of 5. I was doing 250, no problem. But
when I was a little kid, I could easily do like the thing where I could like put
Lift
my hands
yourself
on something like this and just put myself up onto it.
yeah,
easily.
the body lift.
Like when I was a little kid, like if parkour had have come out when I was a little kid, I would probably either be heavily into parkour right now or dead from falling off of something.
Yeah,
So-
I get that. But overall,
But by the time
Yeah.
parkour was like becoming like a popular thing over here for people to try to get into, and like I got to go try it, I was already like not quite in shape enough to do that. Like I think I was playing DDR at the time, so I was at least down to like under 200 pounds. But the shitty thing was that I didn't really do anything but that, so I was trying to learn all that shit from like somebody and trying to get past my fear of like jumping distances and stuff like that. And never really did it enough to actually stay into it, so
but
didn't really ever get into it. Plus, everybody started making fun of it pretty heavily, like not long after it became a popular thing here, so it then became a dorky thing after that. So,
But I also remember when I first squatted 500 pounds, I felt like a beast because my coach was there and he was like, "Come on, Hamilton, you got it, come on!" And I got it back up on the bar and I was just like, "Yeah!"
I've never been to that point. I've never been a lifter or a bulky dude.
Well, here's the thing. When I was a kid, I was into gymnastics a lot. Gymnastics was my jam because I did it for 7 years, from when I was 5 all the way until I was 12, and then my parents presented me with the ultimatum: you either stick to gymnastics or you can go into football. Now, here's the thing. There's not a lot of places around here that you can excel with gymnastics, but there's plenty of football programs around here, and a lot of them offer scholarships. So I was thinking to myself, okay, so if I can get like an offer to West Virginia or UVA or maybe Virginia Tech, that was the big one I wanted, because that's what I actually the one my dad wanted me to do was Tennessee. But good luck me getting into Tennessee. But I was happy going for that. But then when I injured my knee, that was it. I couldn't do anything else because I was scared. That's the thing. It was a mental block that really I put on myself because, I didn't want to be walking around with a cane the rest of my life. That was the scary thing.
Yeah, I wanted to get into playing football in middle school, and I went to a training camp thing. Like it was basically like a thing that they do where they show you a lot of the stuff that you'll be doing and try to get you interested in it.
Yeah.
And try to get you to come try out. And I had already been playing like baseball and basketball, all kinds of stuff going into middle school and things like that. So football was like something I was kind of interested in. I wanted to get back in shape, and I was starting to gain a little bit of weight because I hadn't played anything in like my 5th grade year. And then I went to the doctor, and my mom was like, I want you to go to the doctor and talk to them about it and everything, because I've heard of all these horror stories of people who go to play football and then find out they have like a bad heart because of the training and stuff they put you through and crap like that.
That's,
you know?
Yeah, that's something
like,
that they prep for more now than they did back then.
So I went and my doctor was like, well, here's the thing. You would be good on everything except for your right shoulder. You have a loose joint on your right shoulder. And if you ever want to feel that, like I can actually pop it like consistently over and over. Like it's not like a pop like your fingers where you can only pop it once and then it won't. It'll make a pop sound anytime I do this, like, and you can put your hand on it and feel it pop in and out slightly.
Same here, man.
She was like, if you play football, with a pretty much 95% chance at some point your shoulder will be dislocated and it's going to hurt really bad. And I was like, I don't like that idea. So I ended up not doing it.
My thing was, I never dislocated my shoulder that bad.
She's like, you just come and we pop it back in, but it is going to hurt really bad.
I'm
and
double jointed in my shoulders. That's my thing. I'm double jointed in my shoulders. I hurt my rotator cuff one time on a tackle. I grabbed the guy around his waist, and when I went down with him, my shoulder pretty much went up like this and popped out a little bit. And it damaged my rotator cuff, and I never got it fixed.
And it sucks.
So
too.
that's why whenever I lift my arm up like this, I have to pretty much pop my arm out like that in order to go up the rest of the way. Because whenever I get down here, it locks up right there, and then as you can see, whenever I put my shoulder up the rest of the way, it just pops right out.
And there's a good chance you'll end up with like an amount of arthritis there. Like
well, dude, I already know I'm gonna have arthritis in my hand because I've broken this hand, I believe, 3, maybe 4 times. The most recent one, was very stupidly of me when I pretty much like broke this knuckle completely down like that. Like you all can probably see it, like it's like a depression in my fist right there. Because the knuckle has pretty much just been pushed down.
Luckily, arthritis is something that seems like the medical community is continuing to research on. And they're coming up with more and more ways to make it more possible.
Well,
more comfortable to live with.
Well, of course.
Hopefully by the time we get old and full of arthritis, we'll have some solutions.
Dude, my Aunt Jennifer, she had arthritis in her wrist really bad because she had a really bad biking accident back when she was in her 20s. And she started to develop arthritis there when she was around 41, 42. And what they did was they pretty much cut her hand open, and then they went in and they pretty much did a micro repair on her hand to where like the stress fractures were and everything because they hadn't properly healed, and they pretty much eliminated the majority of her arthritis right there. She gets a little bit on here on her outer rim of her hand, but for the most part she's good. So yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we got to move on. We got stuff to do, and he's got places to go. So until next time, everybody, we hope that you enjoyed. Signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
We'll see you then. Peace out.
Stay sane in quarantine.
Yeah.